What's up? It's Dee out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. It is the Brunch Breakdown podcast. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We've got a great show for you. That's the reason why I'm not doing a cold open, because we got a great show, and Chris has a birthday party that he has to get to because a 3-year-old can't wait to see Chris Gates' face. So we're going to get to that here in a second. But we're going to be talking Hooters because in West Virginia, they're doing candlelight vigils for a Hooters that's being torn down.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, shouts to a legend. We're going to be talking about the Super Bowl streaker, and this story is a little weird. And we've got Brunch Court, we've got a taste test in Brunch Court, we've got music, we got drinks, we got more. It's the Brunch Breakdown. Dan, let everybody know where they can find this thing.
Aside from a 3-year-old's birthday party, you can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are available, friends. It's that simple. New episodes coming your way each and every Wednesday. Make sure you're hitting follow or subscribe so the episode will come right to you. It's that easy. Okay. We also have full videos available on YouTube and Facebook and on Spotify. YouTube and Facebook, the premiere at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Spotify, your guess is as good as mine. But it'll be there. If you're looking for the video, it'll be there. Same place you find the audio. It'll be there. We do a Brunch Court today. I encourage you, get to a screen, check those out for Brunch Court, at least, at minimum. Wherever we're on social media at Brunch Breakdown. Of course, we talk music each and every week. We put that in the beautiful little playlist. We call that the Sounds of Brunch. And we update that on Spotify each and every Friday. We give you what we're listening to last week, keep it on there for you. We give you the new stuff that we're going to talk about later in the episode today. And again, exclusively on Spotify. All you got to do is say, Alexa, hey, Google, play me The Sounds of Brunch on Spotify. And then you just enjoy. You're welcome.
Beautiful. Well, let's get things started. Let's get random topics off our chest. It's time to get it off our chest. Chris, get us started, sir.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, per usual. I'm very excited to be here. Have you ever been the guest of honor, apparently, at a 3-year-old's birthday party? This is my first time. I'm very excited about it. I want to ask you guys, I'm going to give you the option. I have 2 things I could talk about today. One of them is about reading. One of them is about fast food. You guys pick which one I should talk about.
Ooh. Okay. Reading how?
Like reading Rainbow?
You don't get the details until you pick.
Wow.
I think I want reading.
I don't.
Does anybody have a coin?
Here's the thing. I think I know where the direction you'll go if we pick fast food. I have a good intuition. I think I know what direction you'll go. So let's get crazy. Let's go reading. Reading Rainbow. Come on.
Okay. This I might be the only person in the world that this bothers, but like, I don't think people should be allowed to say that they read a book if they listened to the audiobook.
We chose wisely. I love it.
Okay.
Good choice. Way to go, Dee.
I don't think that should be allowed. I really don't. Like, I don't like, because okay, I like books. Like, I like reading. I have a bookcase full of books that, like, one day I want to be able to read. However, I read books at a glacial pace because like, my daughters also love reading. And so then when I whip out a book and try to read it, they want to read it. And then I end up, I've been trying to read the same 5 pages of this one book for like 3 weeks. So I'm glad my daughters like to read, but like, I would also like to at some point. Anyway. So I have opted to listening to some audiobooks on Spotify. Because now Spotify, if you have premium, you get like 10 or 20 hours of audiobooks a week or something like that. I forget what it is. So I've started listening to some audiobooks, but like, I would never have the gall to tell somebody that I read the books that I listened to. And as somebody who actually wants to physically read books, I get mad when somebody's like, oh yeah, I read like 37 books last year. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, how did you find time to read all of them? It's like, oh, well, I listened to them in the car while I'm on the way to work. You didn't read them. Somebody read them to you. That's not the same thing. Okay. There's a very different thing about you physically turning the pages, physically reading them in your brain and absorbing that information, or somebody telling it to you. You didn't go into chemistry class and the teacher taught you chemistry and you said like, yeah, I read chemistry. The person told you about chemistry. It's a totally different thing. Okay. So as somebody who wants to be able to say like, I read 37 books last year, I'm not going to go ahead and take these audiobooks that I'm listening to and tell people that I read them, because I didn't. I listened to them. And I just think that people are trying to sound smarter or cooler or more disciplined than they actually are. And as somebody who wants to be in that realm, I take offense to it. Apparently, it makes me really mad.
Wow, dude. I, Daniel Dudley, am not a reader. I am not a person who reads books. I'm a person that reads basically everything other than books. I don't like books, right? I've read
Same.
like one book in my life, one, and it was a very enjoyable read. It's called Kanye West Owes Me $300. Great read. A great read. Great read. It's about a white rapper who didn't make it, and it's pretty great. He's married to Topanga now. And so, yeah, it's a great read.
Congrats.
Great read. But anyways, it's the only book I've ever read. And so I tend to agree with you on this too, because I don't know how, if you're listening to a book, you're absorbing it. Like your chemistry example, it's like if I didn't write notes, I wouldn't have known anything in my science classes or any classes for that matter, right? So I get what you're saying, because it would have been like I feel like if I were listening to an audiobook, it'd be like listening to a podcast. I'd be like washing dishes and hearing, basically what I wanted to hear and going back to what I needed to. And I don't know if you do that with books. I agree with you. If you're listening to books, no, you're not reading them. I'm with you. I hear you.
Yeah, you're not reading this podcast right now. No one says, "Hey, I read the latest episode of the Brunch Breakdown."
Yeah, just because these books exist somewhere else with pages, it doesn't mean that you like can listen to it and say you read it. Like if this episode was a book, like Dan said, but you listened to it, you didn't read it.
Right. And Chris, if anybody challenges you on that today, perhaps maybe at this birthday party you're going to, be like, "Oh, okay. Well, Olivia read 5 books last night then." You read them to her,
Yeah.
but according to that logic, she read those books too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So take that.
I'm glad you guys are on my side with this one.
100% with you. I love this.
I'm 100% with you. And Chris, as somebody who is known as someone who can make parents not like them very easily at birthday parties, this is a good way to do that if you really want to. You really want to get spicy. You're a little bored. You're like, not really feeling this party. Throw that one out there.
Yeah. Well, you know what aligns really well with that, Didi, is the audiobook I'm listening to right now is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. So maybe I'll just go in there and we're ready.
Let them have it.
Dude, you know what's funny? The author of those books, I've listened to him on a lot of podcasts, and I'm like, man, if I read books, I'd probably read yours, because you're good. I forget what his name is though, but I've listened to him on like several podcasts.
I'm on chapter 3 right now, and the chapter title is "You're Not Special," and I'm just like, you know what? This is great,
dude. What the hell is that guy's name?
I love that. If I read books, I'd probably read yours. It's the highest level compliment you can get,
dude. Mark Manson. That's it. Mark Manson is the guy's name. Yeah, I'm telling you. So, like, just do a little podcast search on Mark Manson, and like you'll be like, damn, this guy's pretty freaking great. So, hey, if I read books, I'm in. Dan, get it off your chest.
Boys, well, we're coming up on a very special day that only occurs every 4 years, and fortunately for everybody listening and reading, I'm not talking about the presidential election coming up in November, but much sooner than that. In fact, maybe it's already occurred, depending on when you're listening and or reading this episode. I'm talking about Leap Day, of course, February the 29th. Okay. As most people know, each year there's a few extra hours at the end each year that they need to be accounted for at some point, or the calendar would become completely jacked up over a long period of time. So about almost every 4 years, we have that extra day. They put it at the end of February 29th. So it's not exactly every 4 years. Get a little inside baseball here. All right, a little science, because you must be thinking like it's every 4 years, Dan. What are you talking about?
Dan, you're going to talk science again?
We're going to talk science here.
All right.
The rule is that if the year is divisible by 100.
Oh, Jesus. He said divisible. Me and Didi are not going to understand this at all.
Yeah, maybe I should have said
doing?
math. I scared you with science. I'm thinking more solar system and things like that. But the rule is if the year is divisible by 100 and not divisible by 400, leap year is skipped. So, for example, forget the math. The year 2000 was a leap year. Okay. This year's a leap year. But the years 1700, 1800, and 1900 were not leap years. Okay. The next time a leap year will be skipped is actually the year 2100. So we got a long way to go. So just for the long and short of it, every 4 years for a good while. Okay. Until the year 2100. Let's get to the point. Chris, you mentioned last week you were running on the more common use of sporks in 2024. Okay.
Okay. So you're going to tie sporks into this now?
I'm bringing it full circle. Okay. That's what you're running on.
Yeah.
Okay. I wish I had more. I wish it was more connected than that.
This is every time Dan talks science, it's my favorite thing.
I don't know what's going on.
Get to the point. I'm running on turning leap day into a national or international holiday. That's what it should be. Okay. A national or international holiday. Instead of working an extra day every 4 years, is basically what we're all doing. Why shouldn't we be given the day off to do really whatever the hell we want? Make it a holiday. Okay. And I realize we can't have too many holidays in the same month. We have President's Day off already. Like, take it easy. We don't have another day off until really May with Memorial Day. And we're talking every 4 years. So
Easter's
let's
next month.
Come again?
Easter's next month, but
Easter's on a Sunday. Some of us don't work Sundays.
You work on Good. You work on Good Friday, Dan.
I'm ready for this.
You work on Good Friday.
I don't, but I know a lot of people do.
Dan he came into today ready to debate. He
really did. He really did.
Also, submit your questions ahead of time. What are you talking
go ahead,
points?
bring it on. Easter and Good Friday are usually in April. So what does that leave March? Now this year it's in March, but where does that leave March? February 29th. We'll take it. So leap day, a national holiday, international holiday, give the whole world the day off. We've earned the extra day. Okay. We shouldn't all just have to sit around and work an extra day just because of science and math, ladies and gentlemen. So, boys, are you with me? Leap day, holiday. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, all of that, that was a lot, but at the end of it, I'm with you. I mean, I'm going to take another holiday for sure. I don't understand. I think like this leap day and why it happens, and then like the whole daylight savings issue. Like, I don't believe any, like you're telling me if we didn't do this stupid shit, like what would happen?
The seasonal calendar in like 700, it's like some ridiculous thing. It's like 700 million years.
Yeah.
The seasonal calendar would be almost flipped.
Oh, darn. So then when it's warm, we have to call it something else.
So yeah, everything would just eventually, slowly over time, the calendar and the seasonal calendar would just shift.
And we can't handle that as humans. We can't handle that over time. Never mind the fact that like it's going to be 70 here and it's February. Like, yeah, well, but we can't call it something else. Whatever. I think it's all bullshit. I think, that's a good point. I haven't even thought to check on this. Are we being compensated appropriately for working an extra day this year? Is my annual salary going to reflect that extra 8 hours?
Probably not.
Then I'm not working.
There you go.
See you in March.
Hence the holiday.
Well, anyways, guys, what I got from that was we're 14 days, exactly 2 weeks away from daylight savings. So
yes,
get your popcorn ready. It's about to be brighter outside. It's already, sunset's happening later now already, but we're almost there. So
excited for that.
That's what I took from all of that leap day nonsense.
But you got to divide it, Didi. You got to make sure it's divisible.
Yeah.
Didi, you can work. You can work if you want. That's fine. We'll take the day off.
Trust me, I know I will be working.
We'll be laughing at you.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I will. Are there any international holidays? Like Christmas? Is that it?
St. Patrick's Day.
That's the closest thing. Christmas and Easter are probably the closest thing.
Cheers.
But that's a good reason to have one.
It's the only non-religious universal international holiday. It's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
That's why we need Leap Day, International Leap Day. The whole
Leap Day.
world is going through the same thing.
International Leap Day. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that. International Leap Day. Because I was like, seriously, other than it's not religious, like, are there any other holidays that are just
That's
like
why we need it.
we give them?
We need a global day. That's what
All
I'm
right.
running on.
Well, boys, let's get into some alcohol. What are we sipping on this week? Chris, what you got?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm boring. I have tea.
Ooh,
But it's in a meet
okay.
me at the bar, like a barbell. Get it?
Oh.
Oh, meet me at the bar.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
lift it.
It's funny.
It's
I've seen that. I've seen that cup at
No,
the
you
Dance
haven't.
Awards
It's
because
original. It's an original. No, you
no,
haven't seen
I've seen that. I've seen that cup at the Dance Awards. It's meet me at the bar. BARR. I think it's is it what's the bar in ballet or whatever? I think it's BARRE.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've
Thought
seen
that-
that cup.
I
Definitely
like that.
thought that was pronounced bear, but it's not. Okay.
Beautiful.
You're like, oh, I don't know what I signed our daughter is up for now.
Yeah.
I thought it was bear training. Really trying to get.
I thought it was learn to dance like a bear. Isn't that what it's?
Yeah.
Whatever. Dan,
Oh
what are
my
you
God.
drinking?
Yeah, Dan, what you got?
I've got a vintage here today, boys.
Vintage.
Doritos vodka, isn't it?
A vintage. Yeah. Vintage because this is no longer made. It's an RIP vintage. In fact, the brewery non-existent
Jeez.
anymore. Don't ask why I'm drinking it, other than the reason it's a vintage. The South Pole Elf from Platform, no longer around, sadly. Yes, this is a winter beer, no doubt about it. As Chris kind of alluded to, we're going through some strange seasonal adjustments here in the Northeast. We had snow over the weekend. It's going to be 63 degrees in the next 2 days. Not really sure what's happening. So it seems like winter's on the way out. And you know what? Good. See you later. Daylight savings time's coming up. Spring equinox around the corner. So let's keep the winter beers going. The South Pole Elf. Gingerbread, a lot of spice. Kind of a lot of like a sweet molasses. Almost like molasses coming out of your mouth. A little bit of that, kind of a little bit of brown sugar, just a touch of that gingerbread spice, and everything nice. In fact, that's what it says. It says gingerbread spice and all things nice. Sad that this is a vintage. I've only got a few more left. But Platform, we miss ye. We miss your beers. And the South Pole Elf, just delightful. Delightful beer.
Nice. Last for me is I was watching Fast X this week. I was watching Fast and Furious 10.
For sure.
This is probably
As DD would. You could have
This-
been reading a book, but you watched that movie for the 17th time.
you want to know about the subtle art of not giving a fuck? Watch the Fast and Furious. Watch the 10th Fast and Furious. Like, you want to talk about movie makers who do not give a fuck? They're like, this doesn't make any sense. Throw it in there. Yeah, let's do that. So I was watching Fast 10. They're drinking Coronas, and I was like, you know what? When you're in the world, you're in the world. All right, you're in it. So I went and grabbed a Corona, and I was like, damn it, man, Coronas. It's like your favorite fast food. It tastes exactly the same every time. It's not surprising you. It can stay in your fridge for 10 years. That's exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying. It's just there. It tastes the same all the time. So like, shouts to Corona and like just for being just there for me for years.
The most frustrating point about having and wanting a Corona is when you don't have lime. I'm like, oh, I could go for Corona. Yeah, you want a Corona? Yeah, do we have lime? No.
Yeah.
Well, we can't have it.
I used lime juice actually because I did not have a lime. I was like pretty bummed. And I was like, oh wait, I got lime juice in the
At
fridge.
least you
Threw it in there.
You covered your base. Yeah, at least that. You're good there.
Yeah.
Need that lime.
Shouts to Corona.
Always there for you.
Always. Salute to a legend. All right. Let's get into our first story in the main menu here. Because it's from my home state, West Virginia, but not where I'm from. Way down there.
Yeah, you made that very clear at the very beginning.
Very, very clear. Not where I'm from. They don't even claim my part of the state as being a part of West Virginia. So they're just like, don't you live in Ohio up there? And I'm like, all right, We got it, guys. Sorry, there's nothing down here. Sorry, guys. You got to come up there to do something. Anyways, a West Virginia town in Kanawha, they held a candlelight vigil for a Hooters that is being torn down. And this Hooters hasn't been open for a while, but they wanted to, remember it. And this is a sad story.
It looks so sad. Look at it. They said,
It's so sad.
It closed during the pandemic and never
2020 and never reopened. They thought they were going to be able to, and they haven't. So now the plan is demolish it and turn it into a Sheetz.
Can we stop right there? I am so sick of this is a very regional issue. So for those of you that listen to us around the country and the world, just indulge me here for a second. Every open piece of land in Western Pennsylvania and associated areas is being turned into either a Sheetz or a Get-Go.
Yep.
Dan, I don't know if you heard this. You know the big gravel lot over by the West End Bridge? Guess what that's going to be? It's going to, I don't know if it's Sheetz or Get-Go. It's one of those. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, they want it. Yeah.
I'm so sick of
it. Get-Go. Yeah, it is. Or a Wet-Go.
Yeah, how many
car wash?
How many more car washes do we need in Pittsburgh? They're turning another one down here and there's already 4 within 2 miles of me.
Yeah, Sheetz is like, oh, we'll do gas station and car wash all in one. And Get-Go's like, we won't. We'll do a car wash separate and a gas station. How do you like that?
Anyway,
yeah, the Wet-Go.
There couldn't be, we don't need more of these. But you know what we do need more of? Because they're dwindling?
Hooters.
Yep. And I want this place to still be running because I've never heard of this town in West Virginia. But I can only imagine what it was like on the inside, and I want to experience it for real. So this is a very sad day.
Yeah, man. Shouts to Kanawha County. I believe that's Charleston down that way, way down there, I believe. And the one thing that I saw from this was this is funny, but also man, dude, there's nothing to do down there. It's funny when I tell people I'm from West Virginia, which I do all the time, proud to be from West Virginia. I really always have to remember. It's I remember man, there was stuff to do where I was from. So my experience is not the same. When you live in a place, you live in a small town, but it's near cities, you take that for granted. You're yeah, I'm from a small town. And I wonder why I'm always yeah, it wasn't so bad. No, it wasn't so bad because I could go to the Pittsburgh Zoo in 45 minutes. I had professional sports teams within, an hour or 2 hours or whatever around me. There were things happening. If you're doing candlelight vigils outside of Hooters, there's nothing happening. Nothing. You just lost your place to even go watch the game.
Yeah, man. And I think in this situation, sometimes if this was happening in my neck of the woods and there was a candlelight vigil, you would almost certainly know that it was we're doing this to be funny.
Right.
But in this instance, with nothing else going on, it is kind of sad that it's oh no, they're mourning.
Yeah. And it's even more sad that they've clearly held on to hope for almost 4 years that this Hooters would reopen. And not until they were we're bringing in the wrecking ball, did reality hit. And they're it's not coming back. It's not going to work. And what's another humorous element into all this is I saw a quote from one of the people kind of leading this candlelight vigil. And he said, quote, "We'll be having a candlelit memorial for all the memories made, though most can't be remembered, in that building. Please bring your own candle. Quote, them shits is expensive."
Truer words have never been spoken. Them shits is expensive.
Them shits is expensive. Candles, man.
What do we gotta do?
Candles.
What can we do as a podcast to save this?
We can send the candles down. Maybe we can sponsor the candles. Get a
let's let the
little
vigil
Brunch
go
Breakdown
through.
logo.
Yeah, let's let the vigil go through and then save it, because I still want this vigil to happen, but then I want us to save it.
Save the Hooters.
Save the Hooters.
Yeah.
Dude, and I just noticed this because after you guys said that they were holding out hope for 4 years, they really were, because it's not the best landscaping job out there, but like someone cut this grass. Like someone was trimming out here a little bit. Like someone was running over this a little bit.
True.
That's
true.
So I'm
and,
like,
and they, based on this picture, they had some orange cones set up around the perimeter at some point, and they have been removed and piled up in front of the restaurant, saying, no, we're getting ready to open again. Don't do this. Don't do this to us.
Is there any restaurant from your childhood that you would have done a candlelight vigil for that you wish you would have?
Ooh, man. The Ground Round.
Hey, the Grand Ron down the road from where Dan grew up. Yeah, that's right.
Grand Round. Get your free popcorn there. That's. I wish I would have. If I would have known that was the end of the Ground Round, I definitely would have had a candlelit.
Well, I'll go right down the road from you, Dan. Chi-Chi's.
Oh, a celebration of food.
Yeah,
so good. The Chi-Chi's, so good. Yeah,
bring it back with a few more guidelines for them to follow.
Yeah, just a couple of health department, checklists. That's all.
But
we would have been fine.
At full health, that place was
peak.
Dude, which one well, we always went to Parkway Center. Is where we always went to Chi-Chi's.
We had one by the Galleria, and it was good times.
It was next to a Red Lobster. The Dead Lobster and Chi-Chi's were there side by side.
You imagine
it's a bank and a Chick-fil-A.
Could you imagine two places that you would have, like, you put two restaurants next to each other that have a higher chance of you getting sick afterwards?
The Chi-Chi's and Red Lobster. Yeah.
Maybe put the Long John Silver's in there instead of the Red Lobster, but you got some real high propensity for food poisoning.
They went 2 for 1 on the wrecking ball charge there. They knocked them both out.
Yeah.
It would make it easy.
Yeah. Because I couldn't think of like a restaurant, but like I did think of something in a restaurant, like the Pizza Hut buffet. Like I feel like that should have been like remembered. We should have fought for that, chained ourselves to the buffet before they took it away or something.
True. Yeah. That's still missed.
Yeah.
We didn't know how good we had it.
No, we didn't. We did not. Well, shouts to Hooters. Shouts to everybody in W for that great story. All right. Let's get to the Super Bowl streaker. This is a very complicated and convoluted story.
Yes.
Like unbelievable how complicated this story really is. So the guy who streaked at the Super Bowl, shouts to me, and Chris, you picked this too, right?
Yeah.
You were cool with that too, right? So shouts to us for winning that bet. He was at a UFC event the night before and was like, I'm going to streak. Paid $42,000 for his Super Bowl ticket, and he was going to put a bet on it. And he did it. The problem was with his plan, where he supposedly was going to make all of this money, like over $300,000, he didn't make the bet in time. So he streaked anyways.
Committed.
Did he know that he didn't make the bet in time?
Yes.
I didn't.
So
he
said he stayed committed to it because he had already told all these people and spent $42,000 on front row tickets to the Super Bowl. So he remained committed, which is also why he waited until the second half. He's like, I might as well see as much of the game as I can, because I'm not winning any money on this anyways.
Yes.
I did see
brutal.
an additional report, to this story, because like you said, very complicated and convoluted.
Yes.
There's another report that he had friends place the $1,000 limit, which is the maximum, a $1,000 limit bet to offshore books after it was pulled from the Vegas. in other sports books in the United States. He had, for his friends, placed the $1,000 limit bet to offshore books like Bovada. However, Bovada hasn't paid out any of the wagers from that bet pending an investigation on who was involved. Saying, like, you can't set up that bet. You can't make that bet and then be the reason that the bet hit. So they're not paying anybody until they investigate who all was involved and declared. They're going to make sure that the right people are getting paid. Very messy, very complicated, but certainly not anywhere near making the $350,000 that he was projected to make if he would have placed the bet like he was planning to do.
I don't like that. How is that? You know, like,
I
feel the same way. Because like they were in on it. No, it's like they were smarter than the sports book. Okay. So they should get the money. I also, this is, if anyone from the government's listening, this isn't going to go over very well, but like, I also think like the whole thing about like insider trading and like you get out of a stock before it bombs or whatever, because you knew a guy, like, no, like all of life is about networking. So if you know somebody who knows something and you take advantage of that information that you like, why should you go to jail? I don't think any of this stuff should be illegal. I think like it would encourage more people to have friends in the right places. And, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But this guy, I didn't know that he knew that he messed up before he did it. That's just stupid.
Yeah, that's the part where it all went away from me. I was like, wait, so you knew that you weren't going to make any.
You still spent a night in jail.
Yeah.
And I think there's a fine that he had to pay too.
Like, it was a $1,000 fine, I think.
$1,000 fine. So $43,000.
Yeah.
like there are a lot of people, like I know a few people who have spent nights in the drunk tank. I couldn't imagine being in the drunk tank in Las Vegas on a normal day.
Let alone
Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
No. And you were just like, knew what you were doing. Like, you weren't just like drunk and dumb. You were just like, nah, I'm going to do this.
I'm committed. Yeah. The shirt's going off and I'm running. I'm going for it. Speaking of the insider trading, one of the people that he apparently told at the UFC event the night before was Dr. Phil. So Dr. Phil may be being investigated as part of it if he made an offshore bet. If he took advantage, but lock him up too. I'll tell you what, getting everybody in trouble now. Name dropping like that.
Now I think we need a 30 for 30 on this.
Yeah, I think we do now. We do.
And will this be the end of the streaker prop bet for games like the Super Bowl? If this guy has come out and said, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's too easy now.
Yeah. Or they'll only
going to make
some
serious money.
They just won't they'll only push odds so far in one direction, you know, like the odds for it'll be shitty now that they think everybody's going to do it.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have to bet more to win anything. Right.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be worth the hassle for that to happen. Also, speaking of things ending, is court storming over now? Did you guys see the Duke game?
Yeah.
Are we done now?
That's it. I saw that and I go, well, that was fun. Hope everybody had a good time.
Okay, but here's my question, because maybe you guys saw this better than me. When I saw it, I thought the kid was faking. And this might be the second time I've seen somebody fake when the court storming happened. It looked like it to me. Angle. I was like, I watched it like 3 times. And listen, I don't know this kid's anatomy. I don't know how his body works. All I know is it's like, doesn't really look like you got hit, bro. And then they like carry him off.
Yeah, well, everybody's saying he like took a very awkwardly long step forward. Like it was almost like he was trying to trip the one kid and then hurt himself trying to trip one of the kids coming on the court or something like that. I don't know. We have more Zapruder film of these court storming incidents than like anything else in our nation's history that we actually want to know about. It's unbelievable. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's becoming pretty dangerous.
That was like the most vicious court storming I have also ever seen. That floor was
like a Royal Rumble.
It was. They ran. And the court was full in 3.5 seconds.
You usually don't see court storms happen like where they get to the other side of the half court. It usually is like everybody gets to half court. The court storming is mostly happening on the other side of the court.
Yeah.
Like they're not at mid court. That's usually how this works. I was like, how did they get out there so fast? It was like they got out there so fast to know where to go.
Yeah, it was like,
But-
oh, we're playing a game of capture the flag, $1 million to flags in the middle of the court. Everybody, it was like, what? I was like, you guys, first of all, take it easy. You play Duke every year.
It's a regular season basketball.
yeah.
And yeah, you're in pretty good position as it is. It's not like we haven't beaten Duke in 115 years.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yeah. Like, is this, I was like, listen, I haven't paid any attention to men's college basketball, but like, this isn't some like historically good Duke team. I haven't heard anybody
hit beat Duke. Like, it's not.
Yeah. And again, Wake Forest not having a bad year either. They're just not ranked. It's like, it was crazy, but that might be it. That might be it.
That one point guard from Duke I didn't know he was part of the reason that song that you put on the playlist, Chris, that 2 weeks of college or 2 days of college song.
I saw that after I put the song on the playlist, but he's been like leaning into it and making it very popular.
Yeah, he's one of the reasons that went viral. And
yeah.
So that's all I know about Duke basketball this year. Court storming and
there you go.
That song. All right, Brunch Court. Let's go.
Let's
do it.
We have a taste test. We've got a lot of stuff. Let's go.
We got it all. Let's dive right in here. We're starting off with KFC. Didi, I think you found this one for us, if I'm not mistaken. I believe this is going to be pronounced Chizza.
Chizza.
Chizza, like
it's
pizza,
like pizza, but Chizza.
Chizza. Chizza. It's not pizza.
Wait, hold on. It's definitely Chizza. It's not Chizza because Chizza makes it sound like it's Italian or something, and we can't do that.
That's
we just can't do that.
It's a Chizza.
We can't.
It's a Chizza.
A rigatoni, you know?
And mozzarella.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that at KFC.
Chizza, you put on the mozzarella with the pepperoni.
We are not doing that.
Oh man! So
now I need video of you going through the KFC drive-through, Chris, saying, "I want a Chizza.
I would like a Chizza, please."
Oh, do it. Wear a Brunch Breakdown shirt. We're gonna be viral instantly. 2 Chizzas. And the Coca-Cola. We're a Pepsi company. So this is arriving nationwide this week. It's 2 white meat chicken fillets, lathered, as they put it so eloquently, lathered in marinara sauce, topped with mozzarella and pepperoni. So just envision that. It's a chicken fillet, a chicken cutlet with marinara sauce, cheese, pepperonis, make it look like a pizza, but it's a Chizza, boys. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is just chicken parm with pepperoni.
It's exactly what it is.
It's not, they're just marketing
it's a gabagool.
Yeah, they're marketing it, which is like, hey, KFC, good for you. But like, we've all eaten this everywhere.
Dude, this is like, this is full like college food. Like, that's why this is hilarious. This is just like, oh yeah, let's put some pepperoni on chicken parm.
That's what it is. Pepper. Is this a healthier option than a chicken parm sandwich? Because there's no bread. So it's technically, is this KFC getting a little healthier on us?
Chris, how do you read?
No bread. It's kind of a good move, you know.
Both of those options are perfectly healthy if you're not going through the drive-through every day. Okay, the problem is that, and unfortunately, I don't know. When's the last time you guys have been to KFC?
Oh, I personally hate KFC.
Ooh,
so I do not like KFC.
It's been multi years. I'll say that.
I think it's been at least a decade for me. Okay, so I can't begin to relate to the people who are staunch KFC advocates, but yeah, don't go there every day.
My fear with this is that I think that the chicken's going to be too hot to pick it up right away. Like that's the idea of the bun, right? Is it's helpful because sometimes it's the protein, the thing inside is too hot. Imagine picking up the chicken. Imagine ordering a chicken sandwich and picking up the chicken. It'd be a little hot. So this is either going to be too hot when you order it, or somehow they're going to let this thing cool down. And by the time you get to the middle of your Chizza, it's going to be cold. I don't know. I don't know about the execution here.
Yeah, I'm sure it tastes fine, but
I'm sure it tastes delicious.
We've been here before.
11 herbs and spices.
This is not good for the car. I wouldn't want this in the car.
Not good for the car.
It's not good for the car. Yeah, not good for the car. All right, let's get to the next one.
Well, let's get crazy, and Lay's is getting crazy. We talked Lay's a lot on this podcast, but now they may have gone too far here. This is Lay's and IHOP coming together in a collab. The Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity Chips. So these are strawberry topped pancakes with syrup and bacon. It's a Walmart exclusive hitting shelves this week. Speechless.
I was so excited for Dan to say the name.
Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity.
Like, yeah.
Any chance these are good?
No.
No, that's too many flavors in one chip. Like, pick one.
I don't
Make
want
it a
strawberry
pancake chip
chips.
or a strawberry chip or a bacon chip or a syrup chip. Don't try to put all that together.
Yeah. And because here's the thing, this is the way that I eat pancakes. This way, exactly it, right?
In chip
here,
form.
okay? Yeah, in chip form. Throw some whipped cream in there too, in chip form. I just don't know. I like chips. I don't want strawberry chips. It's different when we're talking about like different kinds of like meats and stuff, and we're like, oh yeah, like bacon flavored chip, like chicken, like whatever, like chip or buffalo chicken chips or something like that. It's like that's cool, but like I don't want a strawberry chip. I don't want a pancake chip. Nah.
I think this, yeah, you're right. The strawberry thing's what throws us off. Because if this was like pancakes, syrup, and bacon, like I think that could work with the sweet and the salty, that type of mix. I think that could work. The strawberry, I mean, then it's not fun. Then it's not Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. Then is it even worth it at that point? Is it even worth it?
Just Tooty. It's just
Tooty. Just Tooty. Yeah. So I will keep my eyes out.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way. I'll keep my eyes out.
Please.
Try them live on the air. Last, before we get to the taste test, another collab here.
Oh,
Hidden
God.
Valley
Get
Ranch.
It out of my face. Stop.
Hidden Valley
Stop.
Ranch, cheesy Cheez-It ranch flavor. So it's like the bottle ranch bottle, but it's mashed with Cheez-It. It's cheesy ranch, condiment and dressing. Didi, very offended.
No, I am. I don't need to talk about this anymore. Enjoy, guys, and then go to the
No?
taste test.
Really?
I have nothing to say about this other than absolutely not.
Chris, president of the Cheez-It fan club, please. People are dying to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Cheez-It's getting it's getting into too many things. I like the regular square Cheez-It. And then Cheez-It has like 17 options. And now they're getting busy with other stuff. Like no. I'm sure like my kids would like this. Any grown adult should not be eating this. Thank you.
My thought, like when I first saw this, I thought this is genius, of course. But then I also thought, why hasn't this been done before? Probably because it doesn't taste that good.
Yeah.
Cheesy ranch feels like that's an easy thing to do. We have peanut butter and jelly in the same jar. Like I feel like cheese and ranch, somebody at KFC's already come up with that. And guess what? Didn't taste that good. So like, let's throw Cheez-It on the bottle and that'll work. So I don't know. Be careful when you're at summer parties and you've got the veggie tray and the dips. No. Make sure this isn't this orange looking thing here.
Yeah, I think like it alone might taste fine, but like the point of ranch is you put it on something, and I can't think of anything I'd put this on. So
right.
Yeah.
Put it on your Chizza.
Put that on a nice
salad.
A Chizza. All right. Well, before we get into music, we have a taste test from something that was on Brunch Court just a few weeks ago, and I found them. And of course, we're the Brunch Breakdown, and of course, I did find the Easter Brunch Jellybeans from Brock's.
Yeah,
that's right. Found them in stores. Just opened this. Haven't tried any yet. Just to recap, we've got a variety of flavors. And gentlemen, if you recall, there was one flavor in particular we were a little uncertain of. Blueberry maple pancake, berry smoothie, caramel cold brew, mimosa, chocolate glazed donut, and cinnamon roll. I won't try all of them because they all sound delicious. I want to try 3 though. Mimosa, we're going to save that one. We're going to do mimosa. I want to ask the 2 of you, each of you pick one between blueberry maple pancake, berry smoothie, caramel cold brew, chocolate glazed donut, and cinnamon roll. What would you like me to try right here, right now?
Caramel cold brew.
I was going to say that one. I'll do this. There's a cinnamon one.
Cinnamon roll?
Yeah.
All right. Caramel cold brew. By the way, these look really weird. I will tell you that. Whoever's in the dye department at Brock's really got out of their mind. Oh, damn. This caramel cold brew is good.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. That's excellent. That's excellent. Cinnamon roll. This is riveting. Also very good. Ooh. Okay. A lot of cinnamon there. I want to show you the mimosa.
Oh.
And you might be saying, oh, Dan, the room you're in is really bright. It looks really shiny. No, that's how it looks.
Wow.
That's how it looks. It's like, it scares me a little bit that this orange, shiny glaze on here, these are all going to be winners. But mimosa, here we go. Citrusy, orange.
Step by step with Dan's palette. Here we are.
Okay.
This is why you should watch on YouTube, guys.
This is why you should watch.
Right here.
Everybody listening in their car right now go, did the podcast stop?
Show stop.
You should be one of those podcasters that does like make the noises with your mouth so they can hear every experience that you're having.
Oh, the ASMR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ASMR.
that shit grosses me out. But some people, I guess, are really into it.
The mimosa is good. The mimosa is good. It's mostly orange and citrusy.
Feel drunk?
I don't want to call it. Doesn't am I drunk? Yeah, I'm gonna go drunk house hunting again today.
It's not driving drunk. Remember,
it's well done. It's well done. It's hard to really capture the champagne element of it, but it's really well done. These are home runs. These are all winners. These are all winners. Multi thumbs up here, and I'm gonna enjoy the other three as soon as we stop recording because this is delightful. Well done, Brox.
Love it.
Well, you've come a long way from the taco truck.
now we know what to get. Put in the Easter basket.
Beautiful.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's get to what we're listening to. Chris, you have to go. So if you want to give us your three and then head to your third birthday party, do what you got to do.
Well, I'm recording, so I have to stay.
Oh, wait.
No,
Oh, that's right. He does have to stay.
we
but
have you captured.
I'll give you my three, and then you guys can do your three.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. We'll do three and three.
I put this on the playlist a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still listening to it. And it's not new; it's a very old song. But "Everybody's Better" by the Mighty Mighty Bosstones is like what I keep asking Alexa to play while I'm doing dishes, and it just keeps getting better. And I didn't give this song credit when I was younger, but I think it might be one of the best ska songs ever made. So we got that going on. Number two, this is a weird one. This dude is like a Christian artist, and that's not really my like genre of choice.
Scott Stapp.
But no. But his name is Forrest Frank. He has a song called "Good Day." It's just a catchy song that's gonna make you feel really happy. And I like catchy songs that make me feel happy. And then I don't really have a third one because I have been listening to that book. So what I'm listening to, I'm also listening. I'm listening to a book. I'm not reading it. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. But we're not going to put that on the playlist. So those are the three things that I've been listening to this week. Who wants to go next?
I'll hop in there. The three things that I've been listening to this week. All right. So this week's Usher pick, because there's going to be an Usher pick every week this year on the Brunch Breakdown. Off the new album, it is called Kissing Strangers. I love this. I love this song so much. Kissing Strangers by Usher. Another song, Bittersweet by Gunna. I really like this song a lot too. I'm not a big Gunna fan, but whenever he hits for me, it really works out. And then another song that I'm in love with right now is called Luxury by La Russell. La Russell is a independent rapper who has made himself he goes viral all the time on the internets. And he's very independent, talks about it a lot, very in the way that Chance the Rapper did, which is funny to say this like 10 years ago. And it really reminds me, he really reminds me of like what Chance did, not in sound, just like the way that he like moves and the way he's like becoming popular very slowly and stuff. So Luxury by La Russell. So those are the three things I'm listening to, guys.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Three for me this week. First, Linkin Park, Friendly Fire. This is a previously unreleased song from 2017, so it naturally features the late Chester Bennington on the vocals. Still kind of chilling to hear him at a song you've never heard before, this unreleased music, and it's kind of cool to know that there are still some more songs unreleased that feature him. So Linkin Park, Friendly Fire. Gus Dapperton. teamed up with Electric Guest, and the song's called Lil Tune. Lil Tune.
Just a little
and
tune.
it's
Little tune.
titled so appropriately because it's exactly that. It's a nice little tune. I'm a big fan of Gus. Almost won my album of the year last year, and this is just a catchy little tune. Check out Lil Tune. And then lastly, from Knox, I'm getting to know Knox more and more. His very popular song, Not the 1975, is a great song. And it's still getting a ton of play. So he released a new song this week called Me, Myself, and Your Eyes. Big time alt pop vibes, and I'm becoming more and more a fan of his, and I'm kind of excited every time I hear he's releasing new music. So Me, Myself, and Your Eyes from Knox.
Nice. Well, that is what we are listening to. Tell Siri, tell Alexa to play the Sounds of Brunch playlist. Boys, another fun episode. Any final thoughts?
Save Hooters.
I was going to say, I think if Hooters had introduced the Chizza before KFC did, they may have stood a chance.
Chizza.
And that's the Brunch Breakdown. We're out.